So I recently made a video on mage boosting being dead in TBC Classic on the anniversary servers, and today I want to talk more about that, as there might be some potential possibilities rising up from this happening. So going over here for a second to the video that I made on mage boosting, the nerfs that are in place at the moment basically makes the mobs themselves no longer slowable, and I have a video on this as well. We're watching that video right now, but basically the mobs themselves, after a certain amount of time, they will stop being slowed. So as you can see here, after 30 seconds, they can no longer be slowed, and they completely ignore the blizzard mechanic, and they will chase you down at the regular movement speed. Now, that right there is quite important. They can't be slowed, which as you know, as a mage, you kind of want to slow mobs to group them up together, and then you want to like slowly kill them. Usually it takes a long time as a mage to do those pulls, and there's a reason why you put so many mobs in the same pull, right? Either way, that is not the only anti-mage boosting mechanic we have for the Burning Crusade, and I just want to highlight the changes here, by the way, to mage boosting, and then we're going to come up with some possible solutions to this as well, to still boost in the Burning Crusade, and I'm going to tell you right now, it looks like it might be possible in some way, shape, or form. So that was one example of how the mobs are no longer slowed. This right here is by Sabi, and he's going to be doing a boost here in the slave pens. Over here you can once again see, as of now, the mobs are slowable even 1.5 minutes into the pull, but they will at some point no longer be slowable. The mobs he pulled earlier in the pull, they are not slowable right now, and basically after about 30 seconds of pulling mob 1 will no longer be slowable. As you can see here, some of these bug strokes are the first mobs he pulled. They can't be slowed. They simply ran right through that blizzard, and it's going to do it one more time to show you once again as well. Now there is one important thing here. They also teleport to you if you're using a reset location, like a mob evade spot. They're gonna teleport to you and instantly kill you. As you can see here though, he's slowing them down once again, but they are once again ignoring the slow effect and going straight for him. As you can see here, this is not an evade spot, this is just a way to juggle the mobs, so nothing bad is happening here, but he's going to use the evade spot, and you will see that the mobs teleport to him, and that's gonna be the end of the entire pull. This right here will have major implications for TBC Hardcore, for example, if anybody is planning to do that. If you're going to use an evade spot like this, be really careful, and also mages trying to reset their pulls, be careful about that as well. Now, this right here is a post about those nerfs, and yes, I already know, by the way, it says posted 2022, so we are reading a 3-year-old blue post, 3.5 years old almost, 3 years and 4 months, so it's an older post, right? But this is relevant because these are the changes that we are working with at the moment on the public test realm. All of the testing that has been done so far confirms that these are the changes we have. We might have some more changes as well, but it really looks like we are getting these changes because this right here was added right before the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch. Basically, the last roughly 3 months of TBC Classic the first time, these changes came into play, and this time we are simply getting those same changes earlier in the expansion's lifespan. So this gives you an idea of how things have been nerfed, and from here we can start theory crafting how to work around this. So for example, enemies in Stratholme are using a knockdown effect, inflicting damage and stunning you for 2 seconds, and affects up to 5 allies on a 5-second cooldown. Individual mobs can stun you, by the way, every single individual mob, so the more mobs you pull, the more stuns you get, and you simply end up being chain stunned, right? This stun is working through Divine Shield and free action potions as well. Enemies are teleporting to mages inside Shadow Labyrinth after being slowed and rooted a certain number of times. So if you just slow them and root them and root them and slow them, they will teleport to you, and as we just saw as well, using a safe spot, they will also teleport to you as well. Enemies inside Moradin become immune to all slow and root effects after a certain amount of time, similar to how it functions in Season of Mastery Realms. Many dungeons have mechanics to stop mages and paladins from boosting. More examples are coming in. Using ledges and walls to kite and to reset mobs will have them teleport to you, and certain ledges no longer work as well, especially in Classic WoW. It is worth noting that in the same blue post as well, they also highlight that if there's a huge level disparity in the group, you will also not get experience. So for example, if you have a level 70 and a level 40, the level 40 will get barely no experience at all. So being a level 70 paladin and boosting Stratholm, for example, that's not really going to work. But being a level 70 paladin and boosting anybody who's level 65 plus, that's going to work. And what we usually saw in the past is that if mobs are grey to anybody in the group, they don't give a lot of experience to anybody else in the group either. So this means if you are level 70, you want to focus on mobs that are level 61 or 62 and above. So you can, for example, be a paladin, do a Black Morass, and we actually saw that happen in the TBC, like the Wrath pre-patch, or at the end of the Burning Crusade. So paladin boosting still very likely might be a thing, by the way. It will just be, you might have to do shorter pulls, or not shorter, smaller pulls, so you don't end up getting chain knocked down. The more mobs you have, the more the chance of being chained knocked is going to be, so you do, instead of doing one big pull, you do 3 slightly smaller pulls in the same dungeon. It's not optimal, but it works. Now, I didn't just want to talk about that today, I wanted to talk about a couple of other ways you could farm or even boost inside the dungeons. So let's talk about Warlocks for a second, shall we? Warlocks might be able to do a lot of things in the Burning Crusade when it comes to farming inside dungeons. This right here is a video by Crix, somebody who made a bunch of Warlocks videos for both Classic WoW, TBC and Wrath, and even Cataclysm as well made some videos. But yeah, this right here is a Black Temple raid trash farm, where you can solo trash inside a raid. Now, sure, yes, being Black Temple, this will not be available from the start, but when this is available, Warlocks can simply farm trash inside a raid. This gives you access to recipes and sell those recipes, also a bunch of BOEs, and just good materials in general. Now, the reason why Warlocks might become very good for farming inside dungeons is that mobs can no longer be slowed down. So mages, you can't slow things down. That being said, as a warlock, you don't really rely on slowing things down. You just damage over time and run away and kite. And especially in dungeons and raids, the mobs don't reset unless you reset them actively. So in this case, you just throw full damage over times, you run and slowly melt the mob down. In addition to that, a lot of people have been questioning Paladin's abilities to farm both Stratholm and Scholomance in the old content for something like Dark Runes and stuff like that. Well, in this case, this is a Warlock farming, and as you can see here, this right here, by the way, was recorded in the pre-patch for Wrath of the Lich King, either in the pre-patch itself or right before the pre-patch. Either way, this was recorded when the anti-boosting and anti-farming mechanics were already in place. And the way this works is that instead of being a paladin pulling the entire instance, you are a warlock and you're pulling the mobs one pack by one pack. Sometimes you group up 2 and 3 packs, but the essence is you don't one pull the whole dungeon, but you do this very effectively because when you pull the packs, you kill them in like 2 or 3 Seeds of Corruption. And also, to avoid the knockdown mechanic, because yes, you can still get knocked down, by the way, you send your pet. You're using your pet to pull, and if your pet gets knocked down, who cares? You can summon a new one, or it stays alive anyway. So yeah, like you're using your pet here to avoid you getting any of the anti-boosting mechanics on you. They just go on the pet instead, and you use the pet to gather the mobs up, you shoot down 3 Seed of Corruptions, and they all just about melt. So if Paladin farming in old expansions is going to be absolutely dead, just know, Warlock farming might be the new king for farming old content as well. And once again, this video right here, this right here is from when these knockdown things are in the game. So when the current anti-boosting things are in the game, Warlocks still work, obviously. And also, if you really love farming your levels, or even farming gold or something in the dungeons, and you're really sad about mages not being able to do slave pens, warlocks might be able to do slave pens, because even though the mobs cannot be slowed down, as a warlock, you don't really rely on slowing the mobs down. You simply run around, you pull them all, you run around, and you never stop running, and you slowly kill them with damage over time effect. If you get too much space between you and the mobs, you might be able to throw in some Seed of Corruption, but usually that is not really the case, but if you can, that's a huge chunk of damage as well. Now, this boost right here, where you're running away from the mobs, only really works if the mobs never speed up, and that's something we haven't been able to test on the PTR yet. All we know is that they do not get slowed, so they ignore the slow mechanics, but we don't know if they start speeding up like we saw in Season of Discovery, where the mobs eventually started speeding up and becoming super fast. If they do that, this farm right here will not work, but if we only have the regular TBC anti-boosting mechanics, this right here could work, and you could solo farm slave pens as a warlock. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that real quick today, because even though mage boosting seems to very much be dead in TBC based on the changes, paladin boosting, there's a little bit of a hope for that, and also warlock boosting or warlock AoE farming looks like it's back on the table, and as a warlock main, I mean, I'm really happy about that. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let's start theory crafting more ways we can still farm dungeons even after the changes. And if you have access to the PTR, which I mean everybody has, feel free to test some stuff, and if you test anything that you find something really cool, send it to me on Discord. I have a Discord server, link is down below in the video description. Send me anything cool from the PTR. If you're able to be a mage and do some mage boosting, mage farming, if you're a warlock doing some warlock farming, or a paladin, feel free to send me, and I'll take a look at it, okay? Either way, thank you for watching. I also want to say that I do have a gold making guide for the Burning Crusade, which if you haven't checked it out yet, it will be linked in a pinned comment down below as well. This is a great way to secure yourself that you're entering the Burning Crusade with all of the gold making information that you need to have to be able to maximize your gold making potential in the Burning Crusade. Alternatively, if you don't have my classic WoW guide, you can get both of them in a bundle purchase for a massive discount as well. And when you buy these guides, you also get early access to gold making videos, exclusive videos, and also access to a gold making Discord community. So it's not just a guide, it's a whole community as well that you get access to. So check it out through the link down below. Either way, that's it for me, so thank you for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.